So let's begin. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to our channel. This is Fan Token, the channel where we speak about sports, sport, finance, fan tokens, and the chains on the sport which is Chile chains. And today is April 16, and it's 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And here we are 1 year later with Christian Ott. And it's a real pleasure to have you in our channel today. Welcome. How are you, Christian?
Yes, thank you for inviting me. I'm very good. Happy to be back.
Happy to be back. Well, it's been almost a year sharp since we did our first interview, and I would like you to make a balance of what happened in this year from last April 2023 to today, and the expectations accomplished, and the major surprises we got during this year, and the expectation which are not accomplished on this sports and blockchains world universe. So what can you tell me? What's your balance of this year?
So I would say, since we talked for last time, I would say that the major news was like the launch of Chili's chain, right? So last time we talked about it, but it was in the early stages. It was not launched yet, but we have seen it being launched right now. We've seen all these major exchanges integrate Chili's chain. Like they, they had Chili's legacy chain before that, and for fan tokens, and they had Chili's on Ethereum, and now they're all integrated Chili's chain. So all the 70 plus fan tokens are now running on Chili's chain. So that's like a major achievement because it's not that easy to get all these exchanges to integrate the chain.
So you
Um,
you you will
yeah,
say that launching a layer one blockchain is a very tough task, and
absolutely.
I guess we can say it's been a success launching after a year.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, the start has been a bit slow because it took some time until the chain got going. I think because that was also because in the beginning it was permission based. So if you wanted to launch a token or a project on the chain, you needed like the permission from the Chili's team, and then they opened it up a few months later when they said, okay, we want to open up the chain for everybody, so you can independently launch projects. And that has sparked some kind of innovation. We've seen it, for example, with the first DEX that was community launched, and also first few projects. Some are financed by Chili's Labs, so they are kind of official. Some are independently launched. So yeah, we're seeing the chain getting some traction. Obviously, the main user of the chain is still the Socios app. I think it generates like 50% or 60% of all transactions, and a lot of the usage is also from exchanges. But yeah, that was like one of the major stories regarding Chili's in the last year. And then obviously we had also a major story in crypto in general with the Bitcoin ETF, which put some life back into crypto, which led to the crypto markets going up, and brought some capital back in after a very long bear market. And yeah, that has also been kind of exciting. And I think right now we're just looking at where we are going with all of that right now.
So the first milestone would be last May. We got the launch of this Chili Chains Layer 1 network.
Mhm.
And second milestone, I guess it would be something that happened around October
Mhm.
when this network became permissionless.
Mhm.
No? And well, the third one would be that we have some news about new tokenomics or economics about this network with some little step-by-step supply and a better rewards in the staking. Uh, do you think we are going to see this soon, or we are going to be waiting for a while?
Yeah, I think that was also like a major shift from the Chili's team when they said, okay, we want to focus more on crypto, right? Because Chili's for 3 years or even 4 years was mostly about fan tokens. And then they made this shift where they said, okay, we're not only launching a layer one blockchain, but we are also targeting crypto people more, and we're changing our tokenomics to achieve that, so that we introduce staking, and we give more rewards to people that are active in the ecosystem. And that's why they introduced the new tokenomics, where they said, okay, we will change from like a fixed token supply to a variable token supply, where we have a certain amount of inflation per year. So the token supply will increase by a certain percentage, which is already predefined for, I think they predefined it for the next 10 years or 15 years or so, which is like a long time horizon in crypto. A lot of stuff can change in that time. But yeah, I think it's a good step that they're targeting crypto people now, because it's a major audience. Because let's say you get somebody new into crypto, a new person that is only interested in fan tokens, that has to learn all of that stuff, has to learn how to set up a wallet, how to buy crypto. That's like a major user acquisition, or major cost you put in for that user acquisition, right? And I think we've seen that in the Chili's ecosystem. They have onboarded a lot of people into crypto through sports. So people that were not necessarily interested in crypto, but more interested in sports, and they got into crypto because of Chili's, because they wanted to engage with the club through fan tokens. So they brought in a lot of non-crypto people, but it's actually easier for them to acquire crypto people as users, because it's just, for crypto people, it's just another chain, right? They just switch to another chain and then they start interacting with it. Whereas it's really difficult to get users outside of crypto to interact with Chili's chain and Chili's products. So yeah, I think it's a good step that they opened up the chain for crypto people.
Mm-hmm. And in the past year, what is for you the accomplished expectations and the major surprise you got?
Well, I would say that they opened up the chain is like a major surprise, because the Chili's ecosystem was always very, very permission based, very centralized. They were really careful to protect the users, like to only give very good experiences to the users, very good user products, right? So the fan tokens always had utility. Um, the Socios app was always very user friendly. If you lost your coins, for example, the chain was totally centralized. So and there wasn't really a way for you to lose your coins. And yeah, I think there was a lot of protection. Now they're opening it up. I think if we would have talked about this 1 year ago, this would have been like it would have been hard to realize that they would do that. I wouldn't have expected them to open the ecosystem up like that, and I think that's a major surprise.
And on the other hand, what's the worst? What the unaccomplished expectations and the worst surprises?
I don't know. I would say probably it took a bit longer than expected to switch from the old chain to the new chain, but I would say it's not necessarily the fault of the Chili's people, but it's just because they already had so many exchange partners in the ecosystem, and it's kind of hard to align all these exchanges to do something, especially if they get increasing demand in a bull market. So I think that took a bit longer than expected, but we're finally there. We're finally there that we can say, okay, well, Chili's legacy chain is history, and we can move on with the new chain. And well, I would also say like a major shift is that we haven't seen as many fan token launches in the last year and right now. I think we haven't seen a single FTO this year yet, and I think last year was like 5 FTOs or so 5 new fan tokens launched. That's also a major shift. So that they said, okay, well, we're going, we are shifting from a pure fan token ecosystem, which Chili's was back, a year ago or 2 years ago, to like something different. a new ecosystem with where fan tokens are part of it, like a major part, but we are also bringing in new sports products, new Web3 sports products, and that's also a major surprise, I would say, looking back at it in hindsight.
Mhm. Well, I would say for me, the worst is that there is no, there is still the socios.com platform, but there is not, I mean, another big development of on the chains. Maybe now we can think about there is new DEX, not centralized exchanges, and there is some initiatives like Football Alphaverse and Legends and other, but it's still very starting. There is a fantasy league in France now, another one in Brazil, I guess, and there was a big failure with something called Star League, with they launched by November or something like that, and now it seems to be abandoned. So that's for me, that's the worst, that there's not another lighting start and but socios platform. What would you say about the Starlink and what it is, why it would be interesting or why it's not interesting, and what do you think is happening with the Starlink's development?
Yeah, so Stars League, I would say it was kind of they tried to connect to the social fi hype that we have seen a bit earlier, or I mean not earlier this year, like late into last year. There was all this hype with Friends Tech and all these social fi platforms. I think they wanted to launch their own. It was really pushed for like 2 to 3 days, maybe a week, and then suddenly activity slowed down. I think, back when it launched, it was kind of in a test phase and it was not like a fully developed product. Um, I don't know what the plans are with it right now. I mean, right now it's kind of abandoned, as you said. It's not very active, or it's not active at all. I'm not sure it will be revived, or I don't know. I haven't been active on it. I guess you also haven't been active on it. But yeah.
But uh, do you know if it's is a project by Chili Labs or an independent project support by Chili Labs or a full independent project? Because for me, it was not clear at the beginning.
Mm.
I saw some message saying something like, we will reward content creators explaining about the Starlets, me included. And few weeks away from that, they say something, we are glad we see still some developments on this. So that means you are not part of it. And finally, silence.
Yeah, I don't know actually if it was financed by Chili's Labs. It seemed kind of official because I think a lot of Chili's team members registered on the website, and it was also retweeted a lot by the Chili's team. I don't know what happened with it, to be honest with you. It was like I said, it was very active for a few days, and then it was kind of very silent after that. So and right now, I think they just put it on the sidelines. Maybe they will revive it in the future.
I don't know. Maybe we have to look to have a look to Friend Edge, what's going with that, and if in Friend Edge success. Well, I don't know. They're trying to make some noise with Friend Edge again, so we will see what's happening. Okay, and what we have now, what I see is that they said they want to have the Socios platform to make an auto custody platform. This means the fan tokens will be held by tokenistas, by fan token holders. They will be held not in the platform, but in the proprietary wallets with the private and public key, and they said they are going to close the central exchange they have, which is Chilit X, and even this week we saw that they are saying that even for the tokens as used as the tokens we use in the platform to redeem rewards, they are moving from a blockchain to probably a private database. Or so I guess I cannot do these figures, these numbers I made every month about the holders and the transmissions and the activity. So what can you say about these movements or making the platform auto custody, passing the SSUs from blockchains to a database, and the closing of Chilit X, and on the other hand, the new decks like Cool or Cayenne and so on?
I would say that moving away from Chili's X is like a very good move to a decentralized exchange that utilizes a automated market maker like Uniswap or CoolSwap is already that. So I would say that's like a really good move because there were some kind of liquidity issues with Chili's X that we have seen in the past. So, for example, we have seen sometimes these crazy increases overnight where like a fan token would do a 10x within an hour, and then there was like a liquidity issue where
With the
there was
start,
one order at
with the
Fluminense
Stade de
agreement.
France.
Exactly. Where like one order in the exchange is at 200 chilies, and then the best sell order and then the best buy order is like at like 60 chilies. There's a huge spread between those orders. So I think it's way better to move to an AMM because those liquidity issues will then be gone. And I think, crypto in 2024, a lot of it happens without an order book, right? And Chili's X was an order book based exchange, and Cayenne or CoolSwap, they are automated market makers with an automated order book. And I think that's like a great improvement. And for Chili's X, sometimes it was a problem to even buy a small amount of fan tokens, right? So you wanted to buy like 50 fan tokens or so at market price, and you couldn't because there wasn't a lot of liquidity, especially for the smaller ones. Like, not talking about the bigger ones, but let's say like smaller fan tokens like Palmeiras or Bali United or stuff like that. You wanted to buy 50 or 100 tokens at market price, and there were just not enough orders. And sometimes this was also a problem with the Socios app where you wanted to buy 50 tokens in the Socios app, and your order would just not execute because there was not enough. There were not enough orders in the order book to execute it at market price. So I'm really looking forward to moving to a decentralized exchange. And the self custody, I would say it's also like a good thing because with the Socios app, you had your own wallet, but you didn't have like you had your own public key, but you didn't have the private key to it. And I would say it's like a really good move looking forward because that's what crypto is about, right? You want to have control of your coins, you want to have control of your assets, and if you can have like your own private key for the wallet you're using in the Socios app, you have full control, right? You can move your coins whenever you want, and I think it's a good move, right? I really like it. And now I forgot the third thing you said.
The SSUs out of
Oh, okay.
of the closed
Hmm.
of the closed blockchain, they always say they don't want to have a parallel market of SSUs or fidelity points, let's call it. So it could become a private database, I guess. But we are losing transparency and the figures.
Yeah, I think it's a challenge that they are facing because they don't want SSU to be tradable. And if it's on a blockchain, if you have like your own, if you would truly own it on a blockchain in your self-custody wallet, um, you could also trade it, right? Because somebody would list it on an exchange and then it would get some kind of market price, and that would be a challenge, right? Because they don't want that. They don't want it to be tradable. And I think it makes sense. It's a reasonable approach to move it to a private database because if it's like centralized and you don't own your coins anyways, I mean the transparency part gets lost, yes, but all the other stuff remains the same. It's like yeah, it's like bonus points on the app then, and I don't have a big problem with it. I think yeah, you sure. I mean, you're losing transparency, but probably they could also provide some kind of transparency on this private database. Maybe they can do that. So yeah, like a simple table, who holds how many tokens. I think that they could do that. I'm not sure if they're interested in it, but yeah, it should certainly be possible.
Um, what about making the platform self-custody would make the adoption even harder?
I don't think so because it's already so looking at the Socios app right now, it's self custody, but without the private key, if you will, right? So you have your own wallet, you're using the chain for all the transactions, but you don't have the key. So I think that's the only thing they will change. Basically, add like a button where you can say, okay, I want to have the private key. Like I want to see the private key of the wallet that I'm using in the Socios app. And with that, I can access it in MetaMask, right? I can add it to MetaMask and I can voluntarily decide to transfer my assets on the chain. But I think everything else will just stay the same, right? You will keep your wallet in the Socios app. So that's that. I don't know if it will be that way, but that would be my assumption. That's also how other products are doing it, where you just you can display the private key and export it to interact with a wallet on chain, but I think everything else will just stay the same because from day one, the Socios app has utilized blockchain technology, right? The polls were all on chain. Uh, the transactions are all on chain, and even the trades are all were all executed on Chili's X, and then they were moved to your Socios wallet. So they have always utilized blockchain technology really well. And I think the only thing they have to add for that is just the private key, and that's it.
Okay, well, I hope it will be something,
Yeah,
so
I hope so.
something like that. So, can we what can we expect next? We are in the middle of the end of the season in Europe. We have tonight Champions League matches, very interesting ones.
Hmm?
We have the semifinals, the finals, the end of the major leagues in Europe. We have the Euro Cup, and I was expecting more of fan tokens, for instance, for the Euro Cup, where we have Italy fan token, Portugal fan token. Maybe we have Batreni from Croatian national team, which is in Polygon Network, but
Hmm.
but nothing more. My expectation was, and in a couple of years, there is the World Cup, that we will have every team, each team with its fan token, and it's something I tend to think it's not going to be like that. What do you think?
Yeah, you were really optimistic about that, and that's fine. I think what's holding fan tokens back a bit probably was like the whole bear market that happened in crypto. So there were not a lot of fan tokens launched during the bear market, and I think the platforms really, I wouldn't say they struggled, but it was a challenge for them to keep up with the contract they made with the club or with the institution that they launched the fan token for. So I think, for example, they launched a fan token for, let's say, a high-profile football brand, and that costs money, right? They have to pay licensing fees for this, and in a bull market, it might be worth it. In a full altcoin bull market where everybody's buying alts because they think that they will perform well. People are buying them on the exchanges. The platforms that issue fan tokens can make a lot of money by selling them. But in a bear market, nobody wants to buy anything, and you still have to pay the licensing fees. to all these clubs that you can, still use the brand and still have the fan token. And that's kind of difficult. And I think Socios launched so many fan tokens, like they had 70 or 80 fan tokens that they at some point just said, okay, well, we actually already have many fan tokens, and let's slow down a bit on launching new fan tokens. I think, if there would be very high profile brands like, for example, Real Madrid or Manchester United also, they would say, okay, let's launch a fan token. But I think they significantly slowed down to launch fan tokens for like smaller brands or medium-sized brands, because I think probably they make the most money with like the high profile fan tokens, like with the top 10 fan tokens by market cap. Maybe I think they make most money with them by selling them, or maybe even maybe the top 15. But I don't think they like fan tokens with a market cap of 500,000 or so are very successful from a standpoint where they bring in a lot of revenue to Socios. I don't think so. And I think that's why they focused on like major brands and also significantly slowed down the fan token activity.
Actually, I was thinking that maybe to pay the money to move Kylian Mbappe from Paris to Real Madrid, maybe Real Madrid could launch a fan token and will get the money to do that easily. I guess even easily, and even if Real Madrid is launching the fan token on its own, it will be good for all of us. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see that this summer. It will be funny. you,
Yeah,
you you could
it's
always say
possible. Yeah.
you heard this from me first in April.
I will say so, yes. And I think with the Real Madrid fan token, I think it comes down to the question probably for Real Madrid themselves, how much money can they make with this, right? How many license or how big are the licensing fees that they can get? And I think there are significant differences between a bull market and a bear market. And we actually saw this with the Besiktas fan token that was launched like I think half a year ago with Paribu, the Paribu exchange.
And which network?
It's on Ethereum.
Uh-huh.
I forgot the numbers, but I think they had like a really good offer back in the bull market back in 2021. And then they launched the fan token in 2023, and I think they got half of the amount of money that they were originally offered in 2021. Not official, but I read it somewhere in like some kind of newspaper, so I can't verify if it's true, but it would make sense to me because I think the amount of money that was offered to clubs and brands to launch crypto assets back in 2021 was they were offered crazy amounts, and that is not the same case anymore. So I think if we would see like a big altcoin bull market in like let's say half a year or so at the end of 2024, I think Real Madrid can make significantly more money. Not necessarily also with Socios, but also with other platforms coming in, maybe with Binance or I don't know, right? But I think it comes down to the question: how much money can they make? And we haven't really seen any figures, right? We don't know how much money FC Barcelona has made with their fan token or Paris Saint-Germain. We don't know, right? We sometimes we hear some stories like how much revenue was made by Socios with Barcelona fan token, or we see that Messi was partly paid in PSG fan tokens, but we don't have the exact figures, so it's kind of hard to tell how much money is flowing into these.
Just in case, it's very interesting for me that maybe actually we're still in the search of a business model for this and in the search of fan tokens utility for the fans token holders and so on. So this market and this business is not so depending of the bear market or the bull market or whatever, or the liquidity on the market, but a business with liquidity on its own.
I would say that a lot of the buyers of fan tokens are crypto traders, right? So if you look at the amount of tokens that are on crypto exchanges, it's a lot. And if you look at, for example, like what's the circulating supply of Juventus or PSG, and how many of those tokens are in the Socios app, like what percentage is in the Socios app and what percentage is on exchanges, significantly more tokens are on exchanges than in the Socios app. So I would say that you have like a huge group of people that come from a crypto background that are buying these fan tokens, that are trading them on exchanges, and um, that's why it also depends on the crypto cycle, right? Because people are coming in the bull market and they are buying fan tokens because they think the price will appreciate, which we also saw like in extreme example in 2022 with the World Cup, where all these national team fan tokens exploded and people wanted to trade them. And after the World Cup, that kind of activity slowed down on national team fan tokens significantly. And now we're again seeing some kind of activity coming in the national team fan tokens. But yeah, I think a lot of activity depends on crypto people, and that's where we're seeing this kind of dependency on crypto cycles.
Yeah, we have to find out the utility. And well, and the new kids on the block are these decks we saw in the last week, and I would like to ask you about what can we expect from the official Chile chain support decks, which is going to be finally called Cayenne, and the other one, Cool. And this, what do you think about this decentralized? I don't know how to say, not centralized exchanges.
The decentralized exchanges.
And what have you seen, and what are your ideas? Well, we could start with this one that was formerly called Intelligent Monsters, IMON, and now it's called Cool, and with some amazing features and very fast developments, and what's really funny and working smooth and solid rock. Or what have you seen in Cool decks?
So first of all, I have to disclose I'm a holder of cool tokens, so I might be biased, but
So do I.
Yeah, yeah.
Disclaimer here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not I think we both got in early. It was trading at a very low price, a very low market cap when it launched. I think it was trading at like below 10,000 USD market cap. So, speaking for myself, I just put some money in, and it has performed well. But yeah, Cool is kind of like a one-man project, it seems. So you have the founder, Ersan, who's very active all day. I'm not sure there's like a whole team behind it. I think it's probably mostly him. I don't know if you have more insights on that, but yeah, he's very active. I think it's like a project launched independently. It's like a community initiative, as it's always called, and probably that's sometimes like sometimes these lead to something, sometimes they don't. And in this case, he has done some good work, and we have seen a DEX being launched on Chili's chain, like the first DEX. I think it's right now still permission based, so he has to verify the tokens that are launched on the DEX. So it's not like Uniswap yet, where everybody can launch their own tokens. But yeah, and still there are not many tokens right now on Chili's chain, aside from fan tokens, right? Aside from fan tokens, we probably have like 5 notable tokens or something like that. So it's really, really early stages. But yeah, CoolSwap has been like the first DEX, and it has kind of filled a niche ever since, until the official DEXs are launched, which has taken some time. So I think he made some good use of the demand that is there right now, until the official DEXs are launched. And then when the official DEXs are launched, we will see how good they complement each other, right? So you have Cayenne, you have Cool. Like what kind of users will go to Cayenne? Which ones will go to Cool? I'm not sure yet. Maybe they will also integrate each other. So maybe you can do trades on Cayenne on Cool swap also. I don't know. We will see. But yeah, I think yeah, it has been like a good community initiative, the Cool exchange. I don't know. What do you think about it?
Well, I guess that the development is amazing and it's doing uh, amazing things, amazing developments very, very fast and very a lot of leverage on the community. And by now, it's been the launch pad of Chilit Inu, and well, it demonstrated that this solid rock platform, flawless and secure. And these are tough tasks to achieve. We will see if Cayenne can be a solid rock platform. It
Hmm?
is can hold tons of transaction, and if there is no security problems with the smart contracts or whatever. And so it's not bad milestones on there. So well, it's good. We will see, and we will see how they manage the liquidity and how complement each other. Well, and another point for a good point for Cool is that is connected to Arbitrium network also, and
Hmm?
it will be sooner or later it will be connected with the Big T and probably Polygon and other networks. So and managing some more or bringing people from other projects. So the expectations are huge, and probably the challenge to face is moving from a one-man project to a team, a development team, and a real a project which can really escalate, but projections are good. And Cayenne, well, we will see. I know it's very difficult to launch a platform to be secure and to be the evolution from Chilit X, and we will see. But it seems something very interesting, and expectations there are huge, and also the opportunities probably are enormous also.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it will be interesting to see how much it is supported by Chili's. So, how much liquidity they will add to the exchange for fan tokens from day one. And yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to. I think we don't know right now how big will it be, like how much liquidity will be added to the exchange, and therefore how high will the usage be. Um, that's something that's completely up in the air right now. But yeah, I think they launched, or at least Cayenne said they are doing audits. They have been doing audits for quite some time, and they will launch their exchange soon. But yeah, will they have their own token, for example? We don't know yet. Or what kind of pairs will there be from day one? That remains to be seen, right?
Okay, and there is a new actor also, a new kid on the block, which
Hmm?
is, well, you know that phrase that says that every big system has its parasites, and we have here, like in many other networks, we have these coins called meme coins, which well, it has no utility, but people really love, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, and so on. And we have Chilit Inu, and we will have in few days or weeks Piper, I guess is going to be the name, and there is going to be a big airdrop. So what do you think about that? Because I was deeply thinking about that, and I finally achieved in a reflection that, okay, but at this point, networks and blockchains and tokens are something sometimes complicated or belonging to a team or to a region or to a company, but meme coins are neutral and have the ability to put a lot of people in agreement, and they love and they buy and they are proud of holding. And I don't know if it's finally a value reservation or what it is, but the point is, well, we have there is another point in the ecosystem, and it's funny. It's allow you to learn, but I don't know. It's something difficult to make a mind set up on this. So I would like to have your opinion on meme coins in general and meme coins in Chile network in particular.
Um, yeah, well, I would say you have a good point there, right? They are a bit more a bit easier, right? A bit more easily to digest, you know, aside from when you look at all this technical stuff, which is sometimes difficult to understand. I think that's also something we also saw with NFTs in the last bull run, where people said, "Well, I want to trade this picture instead of this complicated technical protocol." And I think that's where all these meme coins actually, you know, fit in. But they say, you know, we don't make any promises, right? We have no utility, but we try to be fun, like we try to be a community. Um, and yeah, that's something that all these meme coins unite, right? And I think there is a lot of demand in crypto for speculation. And yeah, so people used to speculate on all these technical protocols, right? They said, well, my protocol has better technicals, right? It has more transactions per second. It has less gas fees or something like that. That's where people try to compete with each other, and they try to convince each other to invest in this technical protocol instead of this one. And then you had all this wave of products that wanted to do something, some real world applications in crypto, and then people were like, my application is better than yours, and you should invest in this one. And now the next wave of speculation is that, you know, people say, well, we have a meme coin, and you know, our community is more fun. We have the better memes. Buy this meme coin for whatever reason. And we have seen some meme coins that have been very successful. But the truth is also like 99.9% are not very successful, right? If you look at some kind of at any chain right now, if you look at Ethereum chain or Solana or Binance Smart Chain, you will see like 5, 10, maybe 100 meme coins launched every single hour, and most of these go to zero immediately. So it's also like a market for huge scams, and yeah, it's kind of it's a double-edged sword, right? It's kind of it's a lot of gambling. There's a lot of gambling involved. It's like a casino where you know you buy something, you hope that the price goes up. It doesn't have any real utility, as you said. And you may be lucky that the price goes up. You may hit the jackpot. You also may not. Like chances are you may not, because there are just so many scams in the meme coin space. Because it's also so easily to launch. It's so easy to launch, right? You can just launch your own meme coin. You know, put up a website in like a few hours, and then you say, okay, that's it, right? You can invest now, and then they just always pull the rug shortly after. So yeah, it's you know, if you people can make money with meme coins, that's totally fine. But probably important to say that to be careful, right? To be careful with everything. Yeah.
Maybe we can do a meme coin about this interview. Try to launch. It would take 5 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. Just in case, the ones we have here seems to be working fine with energetic vibrant community, and well, we will see. But I understand.
You can tell the story of Chilis Inu way better than me, because you have been in this very very early. I just, you know, I just had like a small bag or so, but you know a lot of stuff about this.
Yeah, well, the point was, soon as uh, Chili Change Layer 1 was launched last May. There was a launch of Chili Inu, and I request some information from some, let's say, Chile veterans about meme coins, and everybody told me don't go on that because what you said before. And I told my wife I will put 100 euros to be scammed because I want to learn this way. I want to learn this path. I want to learn about that.
It's a good approach, yeah.
I put 100 euros with the idea I'm going to lose them. And of course, I lose them suddenly. I put the money and the first 10 disappeared. But surprisingly, in October, another team retake the project. The first thing they did is just to airdrop the tokens to the first investors. And I had my coins, and after that the planets align with cool, and they list the token in the DEX, and it was kind of amazing because you can exchange 1 Chili for 30 Chili Inu and 1 Chili for 90,000 Chili Inu in the split of a few days and weeks. So I learn. The point is, I learn a lot. I pay a training that cost me at the beginning 100 euros. And finally, there was a launching. The first launch was fair, 45 minutes. The second one was over in 10 seconds, but the point was that there were some bots on the launch pad that make the first purchase, and they took most of the offer. So the bots here are a problem, and I'm following and enjoying the community and participating in everything, but with this mindset up of this is just a meme coin and we're here for learning. But yes. I've never said in public, but I put 100 euros last year, and I'm one of the first 50 investors on that. But I didn't expect at all what happened afterwards. I say I was very, very lucky. But at the end of the day, I put my money and I try to follow the tokens and the money on the blockchains and with another investors, and just try to learn how this works. And they take the money and they move to another account and so on. And this is the beauty of the blockchains, that if you put some tokens in one account, somebody else afterwards can take the figures and give everybody what they think they deserve. So it's amazing, the blockchain's utilities and transparency. So I learned a lot, and here we are. I don't think I'm going to be rich with that, but at least we got some little money, and I'm learning now the rules of, if you lose your money, you lose your money. But what happens when you don't lose your money, but your investment worth something? When is the good moment to sell? And you have to learn that until the moment you sell, you are not earning a single euro. So,
that's true, yeah.
So it's a very, very difficult lesson to learn. And it's been funny with my family and my daughter, my son, and my wife. He has to explain, well, this is going like this. What do I do now? I do sell, I do wait. What? So we learn the lesson, and we move from 100 euro to some little to 3,000 euros, but it was funny.
And it was a good outcome, yeah.
Yeah, of course. So I will say, have you ever been in a 10x token? I don't know what's the word to explain when a token price is moving up 100 times. But
the 100x.
100x. Well, I saw 100x investment once in my life. Well, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, 100x is incredible, right? If you think about it, you put like €100 in and it becomes 10,000, or you even put 1,000 in, it becomes 100,000. So 100x is like the dream of all crypto investors, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, over like the past 7 years that I've now been in crypto, I've seen like a good amount of 10x's, a good amount of not so many 100x's, but yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen, yeah.
I guess seeing a 10x, a 10x is something maybe you can find now and there, but 100x is an unicorn. Well, so I was lucky on that, and well, I have to say I put 100 euros, and I'm very under 10,000 euros on real revenues, but well, we move from 100 to 1,000. Yes, we move. That's funny, and that's the point. I'm learning a lot of lessons. So we will see what's happening with the other one, with Pepper. I don't know how to say it's Pepper or Pepper.
Pepper, yeah.
Pepper, and with the launch of Cayenne and Pepper, I guess that would be very good opportunities in with the airdrops and so on. The point is, as you said, the market is now full of meme coins and airdrops everywhere, but scams everywhere. So
Yeah.
I don't have the time to study and follow all of them and be part of the community, and so I just focus in the ones I know and I understand, and that's all, because
Me too.
it's crazy. It's crazy. Yes, if I saw someone I know and I follow, and they 2-3 times advise to go to, let's say, Mochaverse or and some new initiative here and there, well, let's give a try, but not time for all of them. So it's crazy. Well, I would like to ask you something from last year, because actually I didn't understand very well. I guess I understand it a little bit better, but not full. The difference between fan tokens and NFTs.
Okay.
And it's amazing for me that if you see, for instance, this year Champions League, all teams have fan token, but Real Madrid that do not want to have fan token, and the German teams that cannot have a fan token, Bayern Munich and the other
Dortmund.
one, the Borussia Dortmund, because it's not allowed in Germany. And Socios is trying to enter the American market. They couldn't, but there is a lot of good business in America with the NFTs, like Top Shots, NBA pictures, and so on. So I don't know if the market of the fan tokens is moving to NFTs, or the market of NFTs is moving to fan tokens. But what is very funny and is very new in Cool, in these decks, we have a possibility, an option called Metamorph, which allows you to transform any fan token in an NFT. And it's funny because, well, sometimes a little obsolete or done fan token, you can move to an NFT and keep it as a collection you want to hold. And even more, I mean, okay, you cannot sell fan tokens in the US, but you can sell NFTs. So why don't sell just you can make fan tokens for Los Angeles Lakers. You switch with this metaphor to Los Angeles Lakers NFTs, and you sell NFTs. Why not? So I would like you I wanted to know about these ideas. What do you think? What do you know about that?
Yeah, I see you found a loophole there. So how we can finally get fan tokens to the US with NFTs? No, but I think well, I mean, first of all, that's like a really interesting feature to bring some kind of order book functionality to all these automated market makers, because what you can do with that is, let's say you take 100 PSG tokens and you say, well, I want to sell them for I don't know, $6 each. So you put them into an NFT and you say, well, these 100 PSG tokens will be sold for like $600. and you can kind of create a limit order with that. So I think it's a very interesting functionality, like a very
You
interesting.
you don't need
Yeah,
liquidity. You don't have slippage problems. I don't know how
yeah,
they
yeah,
call
yeah.
it. And actually, I have to say, I did it. The best business in the world. I metamorph Chilit Inu tokens and I sold dozens of them in one Chilit. Best business in the world. Best return than selling not allowed substances and things like that. It was really amazing every time. So, and someone copy me and someone is selling now 0.1 Chilit every NFT Chilit Inu metaphor, but it was for some days it was best business in the world. It was really amazing. But for instance, we have now, you know, the former technical head of Chili Chains,
Joe Greg?
Joe Grep. He launched for just for fun a token in the chain, and the
The
value
Joe
as
fan token, yeah.
the Jofa token, value as a token is nothing, but value as an NFT and history of Chile chain has something, at least for me. So I metamorph some tokens and I keep it as an NFT. And I was thinking the same idea for many fan tokens in the big T network with expired contracts, like I would say Spanish national teams or some teams in Spain like Espanyol, Celta, Alavés, Cádiz. I have no interest at all in the fan tokens, but convert in Big T network those fan tokens in NFTs as a collectibles, as something I can keep for me. I think it's funny and there's a business over there. I will push in that direction. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going into the collectible direction, right? Where you well, also a lot of NFTs went into that direction where they said, okay, we are collectible, and fan tokens didn't have that kind of collectible value so far. So I think they were mostly marketed as utility products, but there's certainly some kind of collectible value to them. If you want to say, for example, I want to collect every single fan token, or I want to collect every single asset on Chili's chain, there's something to it. I can see it. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I don't know, but what is what's funny for me, I didn't understand last year, but there was a lot of collection of NFTs competing in the same way with the fan tokens.
Hmm?
But I don't know if this is still like that or really the fan token has a year of lateral movement versus an NFT markets going down and down and down.
Yeah, I mean, if we say that the launch of fan tokens has slowed down, the launch of NFTs has also significantly slowed down. So the launch of sports NFTs, right? There were some really successful sports NFTs in 2021 and still in 2022. So, for example, there was Crawley Town in England who launched their NFT. I think it was called the Internet's Team. They were really successful. Like they made 4 million in their launch sale with the NFT. So that was like a super successful initial launch. And they wanted to do the same as we have seen from fan tokens, right? They wanted fans to interact with the club and to vote with their NFTs, right? Not with their fan tokens, but with their NFTs. Basically, same model, but just with NFTs. And we've seen also some others, like for example, there was do you know the basketball league in the US, the Big Three league? They also launched it's kind of it's like a different basketball than what is played in the NBA. It's like a 3 versus 3
Mm-hmm.
basketball. But they also launched an NFT and what were like incredibly successful with the launch sale. They had got like a lot of celebrities in, and they spent huge amounts for the NFTs. And yeah, and that was also really successful from a monetary standpoint. But I'm not sure where the NFTs are at right, like where the utility for the NFTs is at right now. Same for like for the internet's team. I'm not sure how much utility they still have. Like, I mean, at least you're in some kind of Discord community, and you can probably win match tickets or something like that. But I'm not sure how much you can like if you still have voting rights to make decisions in the club or in the league, I don't know. I think probably not so much. So some of these NFTs were also like hype products and were kind of abandoned in the bear market. I mean, abandoned is probably too strong. Let's say the activity slowed down, but maybe they're coming back right now. But yeah, sure. There was definitely a lot of activity because of the bull market, and the utility was probably second placed.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, I would like to finish this time we have together speaking about this market, about the future. What can we expect for the interview in the next in April's next year? What do you think is going to happen, and what would you like it would happen?
Um, it's a good question. I mean, crypto is such a fast moving space, so you never know. I mean, we could see like a huge influx of products or like some sideways action. I mean, I would like to see a lot of new products coming in. We have already seen major brands that are still interested in crypto. Like for example, with the Ligue 1 in France, the fantasy game that was launched on Chili's chain. I think that was a cool initiative. Maybe we can see some follow up on that. Or I don't know if you remember, there was like at the end of 2022, there was the Ballon d'Or vote or the ceremony, and all the winners got NFTs. I think that was also really cool. That was in 2022. They didn't do it in 2023 because of the bear market, I guess. But I want to see more stuff like that. I want to see real sports brands connect with crypto and do some cool crypto stuff on like a major
Now, we,
stage.
we saw this week the agreement with Adidas with Step N.
Oh, really? I didn't hear about it.
Yeah, do you know Step N, the app
The
that
move to
pays?
earn.
Yeah, move to earn, and they have an agreement with Adidas this week.
Oh,
So
that's really cool.
we will see what's going on there.
Yeah, I
And
think I would like to see more sports moving into crypto again, more products, also utility for the existing products, and yeah, probably we need an altcoin bull market for that in like the next half year or next year or so, and I would be fine with that because altcoin bull market would mean that my crypto investments perform well, so I would
and
celebrate that. Yeah.
could we foresee some convergence? For instance, Chile with Flow or Arbitrium or something like that?
Um. Well, I mean that's like a kind of difficult question because there are so many aspects to it, right? So let's say Chili's would, for example, merge with Flow. You're talking about the mergers and acquisitions that was mentioned by Alex a few times. Um, well, I mean, when we see Chili's, right? It's like I think it's at $1 billion market cap, right? And Flow is probably also at around a billion, maybe a bit above a billion, like 1.3 billion or so. How
Flow
do
is
you
a bit
merge
bigger.
that? Yeah, yeah. How do you merge that, right?
Putting a lot of money on the table.
Yeah, I mean, you could merge or you could acquire it, right? If you're Chili's and you say, well, we want to acquire Flow, like what's the price for that? I think the price is too high. I don't think they could like purchase
Yeah,
Flow and then incorporate it
but
into.
but but the price is they move to a top 10 coin or a top 10 network. They are in the spotlight.
I mean, we've seen it with Fetch AI and Singularity and this other coin that I forgot right now. So they I think they launched like a third token, right? They all combined each other to like a multi-billion dollar token.
And it worked.
I'm they did. I think it was Ocean Protocol. Ocean Protocol was the third, if I'm not totally mistaken. And I'm not sure if it worked. I haven't seen the new token. I think the old tokens or the tokens that they have are still still trading. I'm not sure what the transition phase is, but that was like the approach they made, right? So if we would transition that to Chiliz and Flow, it would mean that you would need a third token that's like the Chiliz plus Flow combined token. And that would probably mean that there is no more Chiliz, no more Flow token, but you would have like a new token, right, with a bigger market cap uh, that combines these two. But yeah, I don't know that there's just so much to it because basically you're also giving up a lot of control over your strategic decisions, I would say, because then you're not making strategic decisions as Chiliz, right? You're making strategic decisions as Chiliz and another company with like another CEO, right? So uh, I think it depends on what can you get out of it and what's the price that you have to pay for it, right? Not only from a monetary standpoint, like what's the price, but also from a like an equity standpoint, from a strategic standpoint. Like, can you still make your own decisions? Can you still do you still have full control over your company? Um, yeah, it's a difficult question. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I guess we are foreseeing something like that in the
Mm,
next future, because Alex said something in this with this orientation a couple of times, and well, it will be funny. But I do agree with you that it's not an easy task. It's a very tough and challenging to merge or
mm.
to kill one of those, depending on who is putting the money on the table. And well, we will see. But it's very interesting.
Yeah, probably also for you could do it for a smaller project, right? So let's say a smaller product that you're buying, and that's like a, a 20 million market cap or so. But that's really like bringing cool stuff to your chain, and I think we have seen probably some parts of that with Chili's Labs where they invested in like um, good products that they will then bring to Chili's chain, and where they have some equity in the product. Um, that's kind of in the same niche, like the same stuff we're talking about. But yeah, it could also be a bit smaller. I think it gets really difficult if you want to acquire like a very big player.
Yeah, sometimes I'm thinking that probably or maybe Chile is in the point to be, or the fan tokens market to move to some big hands of on the media or in the investment, or I don't know. That's
Hmm.
like you can see it is a successful startup just moving and making mature. But we don't know. This is something will depends on the beer market, and we will see. Interesting point. Okay, Chris. Well, I do really appreciate your knowledge and the tons of information you provide. I would like to finish speaking about, well, you write weekly an article on all this stuff in Twitter every Monday, and
Hmm.
it's been a year now, no?
Hmm. Yes.
And do you foresee to keep writing every week for on that another year for another year?
Yeah, I'm really thankful for that because that's like a sponsorship I have with the guys at Chili's. So we agreed to do it. Like we did the first sponsorship when there was the World Cup in Qatar in 2022, where I did like a daily summary of everything that happened with the World Cup and Portugal and Argentina fan token. And then we kind of continued on that initiative, and I started this weekly summary of first it was fan tokens, right? I was talking about everything that happened with fan tokens. And then 4 weeks ago, due to the transition of the ecosystem to not only fan tokens, but to Chili's chain in general, to the Chili's ecosystem in general, we transitioned the weekly post, the weekly article to Chili's chain. And yeah, I'm really happy to do it. I think it's both, it's nice for me to have like a paid cooperation with Chili's, and also I think it's a good service for the community because you can read all the stuff that has happened, because with social media all the news are kind of in in different posts, and it can sometimes be a bit difficult to get like a good overview. But yeah, I'm really happy to do it, and I hope we will continue. I hope it will uh, still be running for another year or multiple years even.
I have to say that I really like the new form factor of article, better
Yeah,
than
thank you.
a thread. It's very, very nice, and it's a real pleasure reading you every Monday.
Thank you.
Okay, Chris. So, well, thank you very much. And well, I hope we can repeat this 1 year later, and we can see what's happening, and if the prediction we made are accomplished or not, and what's going on. And who can tell you last year we will repeat, and as you know, time flies. So here we are 1 year later, and probably next year we have some very exciting histories to tell. So we will see.
Hopefully.
So, well, thank you very much, and well, see you next time.
Thank you.